Hello my friends, it's Miss Mo from Miss Mo's Vegan Kitchen, and today I thought I would do another little cooking tutorial. We've got some Brussels sprouts. All of these ones are already fixed, or whatever you call them, stemmed, destemmed. And here's a massive bowl that I am preparing. So I have a friend coming to pick up some gardener's pies. So all you do is, this top here is quite tough. So you just chop it off like so. And then you have your Brussels sprout like this. I put it in a bowl. Get them all prepared. They're all washed, and the bad ones, like if there was any bad leaves on the outside, you try to pick them off as you go. So this part here, I mean, you can cook it if you want to, but it's quite tough, like cabbage, because they're baby cabbages, right? So yeah, how are you today? How has your new year been? Do you like Brussels sprouts? A lot of people do not like these. We call them fart bombs because they make you fart, but we love them. Okay, so let me tell you how I hated them growing up. Did not like them at all. What's with the lighting? Wow, is it? I hope it's okay when it actually finishes. Guess we'll find out. So, my mom and dad used to make them literally just like boiled, and I did not like them at all. We would have them with a Jig's dinner, which is a Newfie Jig's dinner. So that was, obviously I wouldn't eat it now because it's boiled cottage roll, which is like this, I don't even know what the meat is. I think it's pork. I don't know. But anyway, it's like this big, huge roast thing. And it's wrapped in twine. And you cook it. It's salted. And then you cook it with potatoes, cabbage, carrots, onions, garlic. And then you got an onion here. And then you cook it all together, and then we would have sometimes Brussels sprouts on the side, which is weird because there's cabbage in the boiled dinner, but whatever. You gotta have lots of sides. And we would do stuffing and cranberry sauce, and it would be like a huge thing, and called Newfie Jig's dinner. And we would have it on Sundays usually. So I'm sure that if any of you are further than East Coast or have East Coast family, you know what I'm talking about. So boiled dinner, Jig's dinner, whatever you want to call it. So just prepare your onion. Like so. I went the easy route this time because I have been doing so much cooking that I bought a bag of the peeled garlic. And it's such a lifesaver. So I'm going to show you that in a second. Oh my gosh. I just stuck my tongue out, didn't I? I've been doing that since I was a kid. When I'm doing something and I'm really concentrating, I stick my tongue out. Okay, so now I have my bag of onions in here. I'm going to dump all of the ends or stems or whatever you want to call them into this thing that I have my plate on. Now I'm going to dump the Brussels sprouts back onto here. Look at that beauty. Oh my gosh. This is so amazing. I bought them. They're falling all over the floor. It's a good thing that they're not cooked or Charlie would be eating them because he loves Brussels sprouts. Those ones are not. Charlie, they were not cooked, baby. So now you take your little prepared Brussels sprouts, so there's no bad leaves on the outside and it has the end cut off, and you just cut it in the middle. So you've got 2 halves of a Brussels sprout. So I'll do all of that. So, I did tell you that I was going shopping again today, right? Got that right there. My eyes are watering from the onion already. And I haven't even started cutting it. I only peeled it. Oh my gosh. We went back to Michael's. I went to get a wreath carrier, a wreath stowaway, storage thingamabob, I don't know. And they had it, so I had it in my cart, and then I started looking around, and I saw all kinds of Christmas stuff. And I'm like, well, The storage thing is not on sale, but that was. So that thing right there is $55 regular, but it was on sale for 80% off. So I don't know how you guys figure out when you're shopping somewhere and there's a percentage off, but what I do is I do 55 divided by 100 is 5.5, so 550. And then I times that by 2 because it was 80% off. So then you get $11. So I paid $11 for that. Like, look at it. It's gorgeous. And the cubes that hold the numbers, you just switch them around and then you do your countdown for the Christmas. So that's the same exact size of the other one that I bought, the snowman one. If you're on my Instagram, you saw that picture. So my friend who's picking up the gardener's pies, I'll give her some Brussels sprouts just because. But I prepared a bunch of them already for us to freeze because these are Axel's favorite. So when he comes home from England, he can just warm them up and have them ready. So what else is going on? I bought him, oh, the cutest little outfit. Oh my gosh. It's a little, like, Christmas elf. And that, again, 80% off. So it was, I think it was, I don't even know. I just know that I spent $45 and I got a tree skirt. And I had picked up the recipe book that I've been wanting. But because it's what they call their everyday value at Michael's, you can't use your discount on it, which is kind of stinky. But I really, really want this recipe book because that's my goal for 2020 is to write a recipe every day of the year. My own recipes, because I love to create recipes. My squirrel is back. So, hi squirrel. So I want to do that. And then that will be like a recipe a day for a year. Wouldn't that be so exciting? Then I can publish a book. I don't know if I'll self-publish or go through a publisher, but either way, I'm excited to do it. So, this is a lot of Brussels sprouts. Hope you don't mind that I'm just going to sit here and chop them while I talk to you. We went to Pennington's as well as Marshall's. I got a belt at Marshall's. Holy moly. So, okay, here is where gendered pricing is ridiculous. So you go into the ladies section and there's belts. You know, there's a little bit of studs on them, diamondy, sparkly things on them, or some, like a fancy buckle or something like that. Pretty colors, whatnot. Some of them are like $45 for a belt to hold up your pants. Excuse me? This is Winners and Marshalls. Like, this is not some fancy-dancy, you know, Dior store or something like that, where they should be charging that amount of money for a belt. It's not even, I think it was faux leather, I hope anyway, the ones that I was looking at. But Diane and I were like, no way. And not only that, they don't even look strong enough. Now, I'm not a small person, obviously, so I need a belt that is, you know, pretty strong. And it's going to hold up my pants, because I am losing weight. I have no idea how much I'm losing because I don't weigh myself. I haven't decided if that's something that I'm going to do, but I've had issues with eating disorders in the past, and it's because I'm obsessed with numbers. So once I start weighing myself, then I get obsessed with that number, and I don't want that to be my goal right now. So we'll see how I progress. But I'm definitely losing. So my pants are falling off. So I have to buy a belt. I had a belt last year, left it at a friend's, and we just kept forgetting about it every time that I was there, so she's probably thrown it out by now. And it was falling apart anyway, so it's fine. So, I decided to go over to the men's section. Let me tell you how these gorgeous men's belts, nothing super fancy, but they did even have fancier ones, for $20. Some of them were only $12.99. Why? Because that's gender-based pricing. It's ridiculous. Same as the underwear. Underwear on the lady side, $14.99, $15.99, $30 for underwear. Go over to the men's side, $4.99, $7.99, $12. Like, same stuff, better material also, because for some godforsaken reason, they make women's underwear out of these, like, materials that you know are just going to give you probably a yeast infection of some sort because they don't breathe. But if you go to the men's, Most of them are made out of natural materials, which is much better for you. I digress. So I'm looking through the belts, and I almost picked up this really, really nice faux leather one, and it had just plain, nothing fancy, but I really liked the feel of it, and it was, you know, good, strong belt. So I was like, all right, this is great. And then I look down and I see this one kind of hanging, and I'm like, what is that? It's this orange, old school canvas belt. It doesn't even have a buckle. It has the two little round things where you have to like loop the belt through and then loop it back so that it stays tight and you have to pull it like when we were kids. I was so excited. I didn't even care what the price tag was for it. I'm like, I have to get this belt. $5, my friend. $5. Hello. I got a belt for $5. I almost bought one for 40-something dollars, but I got a belt for $5. Can you tell I'm excited? And then I bought some cocoa almond things or whatever they were because I was standing in line, and that's where they put everything that you're supposed to buy on, you know, impulse buying. I impulsed. I bought. Good marketing. So, and then we went to Michael's and I bought the stuff there. So it was a really good shopping day. It's beautiful out today. It's a little bit gray now. Oh, I thought it was really gray, but that's the smoke coming out of my neighbor's place. I'm like, what? They've got their chimney going. It looks so pretty. So I had somebody tell me by private message on Facebook that I talk too fast. So please let me know if you think I talk too fast, because I do. When I get excited, I just go. I ramble. And that is totally an East Coast thing. We grew up quite fast talking. And I think it's because there was so many of us and we had so much going on that if you didn't talk fast, then you just didn't get heard. I don't know. So, as for my raw journey, no, broke it last night. And I told you that I'm not going to beat myself up over it. It's okay. And I was also reading up on how to succeed at your New Year's resolutions. Don't start them on January 1st because you're still doing all of your visiting. And sometimes you're on holidays like myself. So, you know, you're chilled out, and I didn't even get shopping, like I told you, to buy actual groceries to start my raw journey, so it didn't really make sense. So what I had yesterday was all that I had left in the fridge for raw. I could make salad out of Brussels sprouts, but I didn't want it to be hard on my tummy, and I figured that this would be quite rough on my tummy. So last night I had gardener's pie, because I was making them for my friend. So I was like, well, I might as well just have one. So I had made myself a small one. It was really good. So I had 2 raw meals. So what I thought was maybe I'll just do that, where I'll do 2 raw meals a day, and then I'll have 1 cooked meal a day. So I haven't decided what order I'll do it in or anything like that. I don't think I'm going to be that restricted to myself, because I find it's harder to follow it and stick with it if you do it that way. Might be easier for some people, not for me. I have a lot of issues around food since I was a kid. And I don't know if that stems from the fact that I had always heard when I was younger that, you know, that I was fat from people. I'm not even going to say friends, because friends wouldn't do that to you. Not in a nasty way. They would say it to you in a nice way, I would think anyway. I would. So I had always heard that I was fat, that I was ugly, that I was this, that I was that. People made fun of me. People bullied me. And it plays on your mind. You can say anything that you want that it doesn't, but the more that you hear it, you know, the more that your brain believes it, I guess. So I started to have serious issues around food and ended up with an eating disorder when I was a teenager and was quite sick. So as I made myself well, I decided that I was not going to pay attention to a scale. So when I go to the doctors, if I get weighed, I turn around and they don't tell me the weight. They've had me long enough that they know that I can't handle it. So they're used to it. So it's not an issue. And I prefer it that way, because I don't want to get stuck in that rut again. So this time I am not doing it to have a number on a scale. I mean, like I said, I don't really... There goes another one. So I'm just doing it for the pure enjoyment of making myself well. Health-wise, for one thing, but just mind. Because I feel like when you eat well, your mind changes and you feel so much better. And obviously if your brain is well, then the rest of you is well. And how I was saying yesterday that food is your medicine, food can also be your poison, especially when you eat junk. So that is my biggest hurdle, is that I need to give up junk food. And I'm also not going to restrict myself on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that 1 or 2 days a week, if I feel like having something, I'll have it. I just won't have as much. And I'll cut down on the starches, like I said, because they are my nemesis, my enemy. So what do you believe in New Year's resolutions? And if you do, what is yours? So I've told you a few of mine. I want to get active, more active at least, because I'm not sedentary by any means. I want to write a cookbook. I want to write in my gratitude journal, which is just right there. I want to try and get in a certain amount of steps a day. I haven't even decided what number that is going to be at this point. I want to take my vitamins. And I want to... I don't want to say that I want to make my relationship with food better, but I want to improve my relationship with food, if that makes any sense. Because I think I have an amazing relationship with food. I really enjoy cooking. And I think that the fact that I enjoy cooking makes it a lot easier to cook healthy meals. And I also think that that's what has made my job very beneficial to myself. It was a big move for me to jump into a job / entrepreneurship at my age. I'm 47, in case you didn't know that. And, you know, anybody saying something to you that you can do it is fine. But obviously, if there's no money coming in, well, you know. And honestly, the market for rent in Toronto, maybe even anywhere, is just like, it's unreal. We had a restaurant literally just announced this morning. So it's at Coxwell and Queen. It's called The Tulip. It's been there for over 30 years. And apparently the landlord got a letter from, I guess, the owners of the building or the owners of the property, the management, whatever the case may be, that they are raising the rent to some astronomical price and the land taxes are going up as well. So the Tulip decided today that they are going to close. Now, this is an establishment that has lineups of people, and people who come from far and wide, followers for 30-something years. Like, they are not struggling by any means to make sure that their customer base is steady. They don't need to worry about that at all. They have the same employees that they've had forever and a day because they treat their employees well. And, you know, it shows. That place is amazing. Unfortunately, there's not much that I can eat there. Maybe the home fries now, but I have no idea. I haven't been there because everything is not vegan. So they cook like steak and eggs, and I think they might have a pasta with red sauce, but it's not gluten-free pasta, so I can't eat that. So I just don't bother anymore. I could go in for a tea. And they have like homemade desserts. Like, it's amazing. So that place is closing. Then there's another store. It's a grocery store called Meat on the Beach. I don't know how many years that they've been there, but a long, long time. And they announced that they're closing. Last day is tomorrow. And I said to Axel, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, that kind of just wipes out your dreams as far as wanting to own a cafe. Because that's my ultimate goal, is to own a cafe and be able to cook for people for a living in my own setting and have people coming in instead of, you know, me cooking for them in a rented kitchen type thing. So, went right through very quickly. So, I don't know. I mean, there's also GoFundMe that people have said that maybe I should do that, but we're talking like we would have to raise hundreds of thousands of dollars. And yes, we do have an amazing back support system. Today, somebody posted on one of our local pages that they were looking for a meal prep company, and these big, huge companies were mentioned, and then we got mentioned, and we have almost as many likes on that post as the big company, because everybody likes to support local. That was a huge hug from my community, I guess, and I was so excited and just so proud. of Axel and I for coming as far as we have and being known in our community and, you know, being huge as far as local love goes. Because as far as everything else goes, Sink Monster. Doesn't matter. As long as my neighborhood loves us, we're good. So, oh my gosh, I'm almost there, guys. Oh, I said it. I was doing so good. I think I went 2 days without saying it. I'm almost there, my friends. And somebody else had said to me the other day that we shouldn't worry about saying a generic, gendered greeting. So if you walk in and you say, hey guys, or if you walk, hey girls, hey, whatever you say that is gender-based name. Yes, you should. If it matters to one person, that's all that it needs for you to change something that you do. And it's not hard to not say, hey guys, hey girls. Like, come on. Ugh, retrain your brain. So, also, Ralph. Excuse me. I'm sorry if that bothers you. I've been doing that since I was a kid. So that came from my Uncle Paul, who used to do these really, really loud belches, like beer belly belches. And he would always say Ralph. And then we started doing it when we were kids, and both my brothers and I still do it, and we're old, so yeah. I'm not going to give an excuse for it. It's just something that we do. So, can you see my hair? I'm pretty sure you can see where the line is, where the dye used to be dyed. It's like right there. I don't want to touch my hair, because even though I think I touched my hair earlier. But I'm getting that all cut off. Don't know when, but maybe next week. I'm super excited. So it's going to be all gray, and I love it. Well, I mean, it's kind of salt and pepper right now, but I'm super excited for it to actually be gray. I don't know why. I just love gray hair, especially when it goes that like white gray. Oh, so pretty. So what else can I talk about while I'm doing this? I want to get this all done and show you how I actually prepare them. But I'm almost there. I asked you, do you like Brussels sprouts? If you don't like Brussels sprouts, what's your favorite vegetable? I've already told you that mine is asparagus. My second one would be corn. Kevin is coming over. What day is today? Can you tell him on holidays? Today's Thursday? Yes, because I got a notification on my phone for one of my apps, and it only comes on Thursdays. So he's coming over tomorrow, and we're going to do elotes. The ones that I cooked with you before. Oops, I put that in the wrong one. With corn and vegan mayo and nutritional yeast and some hot sauce, salt and pepper. Who knows what else we'll put on there? Cilantro, chives, whatever you want. Live it up. Maybe I'll make some rice to go with it. Ginger fried rice. See, so tomorrow is going to be a major cheat day. Oh well, it's all good. It's still healthier than anything deep fried or fast food. I told you I don't do fast food, right? Very rarely will you see me go out to a restaurant and order anything fast food, just because I don't like it. I really enjoy homemade food. So if we do go to a restaurant, it's homemade style. I really feel so much nicer after I eat it. I don't get a sore tummy or a headache or anything like that. And sluggish, none of that. So, I mean, sometimes you get sluggish just from being so full, but not sluggish where you're just dragged out because you feel so greased out. Ugh. No, thank you. We don't do what do you call it? Deep fried French fries. We do them baked in the oven. A little bit of oil, of course, if you want. But you can also do it on the parchment paper, and you don't even have to have oil. Oh, I guess I better put that back on there. All right, here comes the crying. Hopefully it won't be too bad. This knife is pretty sharp. So, what is your favorite type of vegetable? Like I said, mine is asparagus. I love asparagus so much. Favorite way is roasted. What's your favorite way to prepare your favorite vegetable? And then what's your favorite fruit? So, we literally grew up on like apples, oranges, grapes once in a while, pomegranates only at Christmas. We never had any exotic fruit. And I don't know if that's because my parents didn't grow up with it themselves. So we had East Coast fruit. That's what we call it. We had berries. Every kind of berry you could imagine, because my grandparents had them growing on their land, because they had acres and acres and acres of these berry trees and berry bushes and crab apples. So we would make like crab apple jelly. Airplane. And we would do all kinds of things. Oh my gosh, I was watching Hungry Herbivore ASMR. Hello, I love watching your channel. I was so excited when I found a vegan ASMR channel. Oh my gosh, she's so cool. So she has bloopers and they're so flippin' funny. Oh my gosh. So I was watching the one where she was trying to eat something and then there was like this really, really loud plane flew overhead and she was so mad. It's great. It's fantastic. If you haven't watched her, check it out. And I said hi to Just Gina because she came back, and those vegan guys, and even they're like my friends now. I just want to hang out with them. And Star, I've invited her to come to Toronto because, you know, that's just the way I am. And who else have I been watching lately? Ghetto Vegans. Did I mention Ghetto Vegans? I'm pretty sure I mentioned Ghetto Vegans. I love that family to death. Like, they're so sweet. And they just really wholesome family. They pray before their meal. I love that. I grew up praying before meals, but I kind of gave it up as a teenager, I guess. So I just kind of now say like a thankful blessing. And I appreciate what I'm getting from the universe type thing. But I've never done it on camera. I don't know if that would be something that you're interested in. Just let me know. Okay, there is our onion in there. All right. Okay, now I will put that away. Now we've got peeled garlic. This is all that's left because I bought this for Christmas. So it comes with that little stay fresh thing. And I don't do anything to them. Oh, my eyes. My eyes do not like onions at all. Like, at all. It doesn't just cry. It stings me to the point where, it's bad. Like, I'm pretty sure that my eyes are somewhat allergic to. This one is like a twin. Look, that's so cool. Okay. So now we have some of my trusty toasted? Yes, toasted. I thought it was roasted. Toasted sesame oil. I think that's it for this bottle. Big carrot is open today. Maybe I'll have to make another trip out. I'll leave it upside down in case any more comes out. Oh my gosh. I have to wipe my eyes. A little bit of pepper and salt. Well, I didn't bring a spoon to stir it. It's okay. Sorry. I'm sure that was way loud. See, look! Lots more came out. Okay. That is done. And now I have... Oh my gosh, how am I going to get all this done? Put this over here. On the chair. And my Brussels sprouts, I have parchment paper. Just no name, it's fine. Cookie sheet. Now you don't have to do this, but it just makes cleanup a lot nicer. We also have Silpats, but sometimes with anything like this, it'll end up ruining your Silpat, and you know, they're kind of expensive to just waste like that, so I don't often do that. So now I'm just tossing them. I'm using a knife. I'm sorry, it's probably a horrible noise. Toss them around, mix it all up. If you need to add more oil, by all means. I might actually brush it with a little bit of vegan margarine. because the oil helps them get nice and browned. And then some maple syrup. I have the hole very small because you don't want to put too much at this point. It will burn in the oven. You just want to literally have a little bit of a glaze on them. And then about, you're going to roast them at 325 for about 45 minutes, tossing like maybe every 15 minutes. And then you are going to, the second time of turning them, so one at 15 minutes, one at 30 minutes, and at that point you're going to put more maple syrup. And the last 15 minutes it will form a nice glaze. Oh my gosh, this is so much. Wow. Okay. Look at that. Heaps of Brussels sprouts. Wow. This is going to have to go on 2 trays, my friends. So I'm just going to put it like this just to show you. You do not want it like this. I'm going to show you in a second how stacked this is. Otherwise, they won't crisp up. They'll just kind of like steam, and that's not what you want. You want all the crispy bits. Look at that. Ooh. So now you're going to basically put it in the oven, like I said, 325, 45 minutes. Toss at 15, toss at 30, add some maple syrup, put back in the oven the last 15 minutes, crisp them up really nicely, and that's it. Serve them as a side or as a main, whatever you want. These are really, really good. So good. So, I hope you enjoyed my recipe, my friends. I love you. Keep smiling.